What's going on, guys? It's Danny here, ready to rank up. Just a few days before Phase 2 is coming out in the honor system in Classic WoW, I want to show you the talent build that I have been using pretty much since the release of Classic, and I will still be using for a while. It's pretty much deep discipline, all the way to power infusion and a little bit into holy. And with these talents, I PvP as discipline and PvE as well as a healer. One big question is, how much do I have to respec in Classic? I don't want to have to farm gold only to respec all the time. Well, you don't even have to respec if you want to use these talents that I will show. Unless you PvP as Shadow as well, because I PvP as Shadow and that's when I respec. And then I respec back into Discipline when I'm about to raid and PvP as Discipline. In the previous video for the Shadow PvP talents, I showed you different adjustments you can make depending on what sort of PvP do you want to do, group, solo PvP, etc. But here for Discipline, I have been always using exactly these talents. They are pretty much set. I respec into these same talents every time. And these are the talents. And before I go over each talent and talk about it, first, let's say which talents we don't have, and that would be a little bit of a weakness, let's say. So I'm not using improved renew, which means I don't renew in raids. I just use heals. Everyone that is holy, for example, in my guild, we are 6 priests in raid, 1 is shadow and 5 are healers. So we are 3 discipline and 2 holy. So the discipline, I'm one of them, and I don't use renew. It will be replaced by the Holy Priest discipline that has it improved and has all this bonus healing. It's much better to leave it to the Holies. Even when I try to cast it, it says that a more powerful ability is already active on the target. Another thing is no silent resolve, which means with your heals you will be getting a little bit more aggro. In the raid situation, I have never ever pulled the boss from the tank. The tank always gets way more aggro than me. In a dungeon situation, a little bit. Sometimes I get aggro of mobs, but that's why we have Fade. Get used to using Fade before you start healing the tank when he pulls into a dungeon. So those two little downsides in terms of PvE, and in terms of PvP, we don't have Force of Will, so that means Smite will not be doing a lot of damage. But when I want to PvP like as a damage dealer sort of, I will go Shadow. So this is not even that big of a deal. This is not a must-have at all talent for Discipline PvP. We don't have points into Blessed Recovery, which is not that big of a deal either. It sometimes does help, but the healing from it is very, very little. Now all the other talents that we picked up here. Starting from Holy, Healing Focus. This is amazing in PvP. Avoiding interruption caused by damage while casting healing spells. That even helps a little bit in a PvE situation, in a dungeon specifically, not in raid, but in a dungeon you can get aggro of something and then mobs start hitting you, delaying your cast. That's pretty annoying, so that can help even there a little bit. 4 points on Holy Spec. Divine Fury, great for both PvP and PvE, reducing the cast time of Smite, Heal. Holy Nova, in PvE you help a little bit with big pulls in a dungeon to AoE. In PvP you can get a way of instantly healing for a little bit of healing and deal some instant damage once in a while. Also rank 1 Holy Nova, you already know how it is. You can reveal someone in stealth, spam rank 1 for low mana cost and reveal a stealth. Inspiration in PvE, very nice. When you crit with a healing spell, you give the tank a buff that increases his armor for a little bit. In PvP, actually, this also has a nice use. This is magic, so the enemy Dispeller will get through it, and maybe that will cover some of your other more important buffs. If you have this on yourself when you crit with a heal, and you have Power Word Shield as well, maybe this inspiration buff will get dispelled before the shield, and then your shield will end up absorbing a bit more damage and being more useful. Improved healing mostly for PvE to be more efficient with mana and not run out of mana fast, and also helps in PvP. Who wants to run out of mana really fast in PvP, right? On the discipline side now, Unbreakable Will. This is great for PvP and PvE, especially for PvP. Increasing the chance to resist stun, fear, silence is pretty broken. We have improved stamina buff. In PvP, it's not the greatest because it will be getting dispelled all the time, but in PvE, the healing priests are the ones that buff the raid, so in PvE, pretty crucial to have this one. Power Word Shield, both PvP and PvE. Obviously in PvP makes you harder to kill. In PvE can help make someone else harder to kill. If a rogue or a mage gets aggro of a boss, for example, in a dungeon, or anything really that requires you to put a shield on someone, you often are in this situation where you just have to shield or they die. Martyrdom, PvP specifically dedicated talent. It is one of the best talents that we have. When you get crit by a physical attack, it increases the resistance to interrupts by 20%. A lot of rogues are going to be missing or resisting their kicks on you. You don't lose any casting time when you're taking damage. We have meditation. For PvE mostly it helps you not run out of mana, but in PvP, same as the other one, right? Who wants to run out of mana fast in PvP? Inner focus, PvE, you cast something that's really high mana cost. For example, in a dungeon situation you can do a prayer of healing, something that you really fast if you use just with your normal mana. So inner focus, free of mana cost, prayer of healing, I find it amazing to do. Or last rank greater heal. For a big heal that also has increased chance to crit, it can definitely get your tank from almost dead to full HP in one simple heal that didn't cost any mana. Improved inner fire, world PvP phase 2 is coming out. No battlegrounds yet, so it will be world PvP. You will be constantly getting jumped by everyone. A lot of hunters, rogues, warriors. Rogues and warriors want to be on us as much as possible because they have a low cooldown interrupt, so this helps us survive against them more. Mental agility, both PvP and PvE. In PvP you are casting a lot of instants, a lot of dispelling as a discipline going on, shields. You shadow word pain the enemy sometimes, for example rogues, so they don't go in stealth. We have improved mana burn, super broken ability, probably the best priest ability to be honest in PvP. As a support it's very nice. No matter if discipline or shadow, mana burn is just used all the time. It's pretty much the caster killer and definitely wins you teamfights that if you mana burn the enemy supporter and you still have half mana, then you will outlast the enemy. We have divine spirit in PvE. Again, the healing priests are the ones that buff the raid, so we have spirit to give to other people. In PvP also has nice use. For example, if no one can dispel it, then it's great for you to have more spirit. Otherwise you can play around it, buff rank 1 to bait enemy dispels and stuff like that. Mental strength is very nice for both PvP and PvE, giving us 10% extra mana and obviously to be able to unlock power infusion. Which power infusion is amazing in PvE. It increases the damage by quite a lot of one of the mages in the raid. I have always given it to a mage, but you could situationally give it to other people as well. Mostly to a mage though. And in PvP it also can be used, for example on a friend mage that we are grouped with and PvPing together. Or you can use it on yourself very well in PvP situation. In PvE I pretty much like almost never, don't want to say never, but almost never use it on myself. But in PvP it's great to use it on myself to do quick burst of healing. For example, if in the beginning of the fight I get sapped and I'm with 3 more people in a group and they are all taking damage and I want to get everyone quickly up to full HP, power infusion myself and quick flash heals on everyone. It's also a great time to target an enemy and put shadow word pain on them, for example, because otherwise as a discipline we will have very little spell damage and shadow word pain will deal almost nothing, but with power infusion it increases the damage. And that's it pretty much. Just wanted to share with you guys the build that I have been using and I will be using for a while. Discipline to heal and PvP with. This works perfectly fine for everyone, even if you want to just go out and casually PvP with friends a little bit and you normally heal in PvE raids. Here you have all the necessary talents to keep healing very well in PvE and do well. And also you have the must-have talents in PvP that you can support your friends really well with. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell me in the future if you started using these talents and how is it going for you. Because I want to hear if from all the videos like the shadow PvP talents, if you guys started using and if it helped. So I hope that you found something useful here and you enjoyed the video. A like on the video would be appreciated as always, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. I upload a lot of stuff in here. I also stream on Twitch every day, so don't forget to follow and check it out when I'm live. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day.